Hey, today we're going to talk about the second biggest mistake in business networking. We'll get going here in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and share this on social media, get the word out about it. Going live. And here we go. Here we go. All right, what is up? Drew T. Jackson here with Drew T. Jackson Coaching, Speaking, and Training. I'd like to come to you and talk about the various aspects of business, leadership, personal growth, entrepreneurship, getting ready to do an interview in about 45 minutes. Very excited about that. But today we're talking about networking. So I want to talk to you about your networking strategy. Last week, we covered the number one biggest mistake in business marketing. The number one biggest mistake in business networking, I'll get my words straight, business networking, is not taking it seriously and not engaging in business networking. You need to go to networking events, you need to make that a priority. We learned that last week. I don't need to talk about that again. Today I want to talk about the second biggest mistake in business networking. Now the second biggest mistake is this. Are you ready for it? It's thinking that it is an overnight strategy for growing your business. Business networking is absolutely, unequivocally, 100% a long game strategy. And you got to get that in your mind. You got to understand that this is a long game. You're a farmer in this instance, okay? When it comes to business networking, you're farming, you're tending, you're planting seeds, you're watering, you are being consistent. So I want to give you a couple of things. I just kind of spit them out there, but 5 things real quick. Number 1, when it comes to business networking, you've got to be, number 1, consistent. Be consistent in your attendance at an event. Don't pick 30 events and go to all of them in 1 month and then never go again for a year, because you saw 30 different groups of people one time that entire year. You'd be better off going to one event once a month consistently than trying to go to every event once a year. Business networking is all about building that know, like, and trust factor that we talked about last week. KLT, know, like, and trust factor. You want to build that. You can only build that by consistency. Number 2, be a go-giver. Don't show up at an event and just expect people to throw business your way. You got to go in there and prove that you're on the team, that you're in it for them, that you want to see them win, that you're looking out for their best interests. So send some business their way. When you talk to people, find out what interests them, what is a good lead for the people in that group, and then find a lead for them and give it to them with no expectation in return. Just begin to give. Just begin to hand out business, send business their way, collect cards, talk to people, send an email, say, hey, I heard about this person that might be of interest. I talked to my chamber that I went to. I'm gonna share a story here in a minute of the Benbrook Chamber. Benbrook, Texas. If you're in the Benbrook, Southwest Fort Worth area, I encourage you to go to the Benbrook Chamber and join up. It's a great chamber. But I would find people that I thought would be of benefit to them as speakers. They have speakers every month. And I would put them together. And I'd say, hey, here's an opportunity. This person might be a good lead for you guys to bring in. I think your membership base would be interested in this speaker. And then give them the information. It's putting me back on their radar, but it's looking out for their best interest. So that's number 2. Number 3, you got to plant seeds. You've got to plant seeds. You've got to, at these business networking events and luncheons and mixers, you've got to help people understand how you could be a benefit to them. Plant seeds. It's not their responsibility to think of all the different ways that you could serve them. That's your responsibility. And it's your responsibility to connect those dots and put it together for them in a real natural way. Plant seeds. I'm gonna give you a story about this in a minute. Next, you wanna water those seeds. So from time to time, you wanna water, you wanna call up, you wanna mention, hey, I'd still love to do that for your organization. I'd still like to help you guys out in that way, and water those seeds. And then number 5, be patient. You've got to be patient with this process. Now, let me share a story with you that illustrates all 5 of these points. So earlier this year, so in January, this is December right now. in January of this year, I went to the Bembrook Chamber luncheon for the first time. Built some relationships. I think it was February that I went back again. I said, you know what? If you ever need a speaker, I do leadership training. I'd love to come in totally for free to you. If you would want to put something together, I'd love to do that. And we could put something together for your membership base and serve them in that way. And they said, okay, great, well, think about it. Now, I didn't push the point. I didn't hit the gas pedal and say, we need to make this happen now. I just planted a seed. A couple months go by, I mentioned it again. I say, hey, we hadn't talked about this. Is that something you guys are even interested in or something you want to do? I have a host site that would be willing to do it. Where are you guys at? And they said, no, we're interested. It's just a busy time. Okay, fine. That's great. All along this time, I am consistently going to luncheons. I'm volunteering my time. I'm serving. I'm joining up on an ambassadors team to volunteer, to make myself more present and show that I am on the team. I'm not coming in here trying to make a quick sale, but I'm on the team. Consistent, go-giver. Fast forward all the way to around November. No, it was October, and I'm talking to the president of the chamber, and she says, you know what? I'd like to go ahead and put together that training if we can do it. I said, we can do it. We can make it happen. Let's pick a date and let's make it happen. We put together the training. Fast forward about 6 weeks, we have 25 people show up for this training that we put together. The training goes fantastic. And out of that training, I have 2 people that are going to be a part of a small group training that I'm doing. I've got an organization that's going to bring me in after the first of the year to do a training with their branch and another branch, do leadership development. And I'm working with an organization right now inside their organization. I just had a meeting with them yesterday, did a group coaching session with them, and I got 3 more that I'm gonna do with them in the coming weeks, all from that one free training that I did last week that I planted the seeds for a year ago. So when I talk about business networking and I say it's a long game approach, I really mean it's a long game approach. You have to be consistent, you have to be a go-giver, you have to plant seeds, you need to water seeds, and then you need to be patient. All right, that is your tip for business networking. I hope that gave you some good stuff you can think about. And if you're looking for someone that can do some sales training with your organization or leadership development training, I would love to come into your organization, have a meeting with you, and find out how I can best serve you. All right, have a great day.